Na festa do fim de semana, só um rolê bom. Ela chega e desencana com passo bem solto, passo bem solto, passo bem solto. Na festa do fim de semana.
Hop in. This is the 2025 Tesla CyberTruck. My 15,000 mile review is a long time coming. I know it's year's almost over here in the month of September, but I did want to get this review out here. 15,000 miles I spent on this truck. A lot of good, a lot of bad. And what better way to start the video off with the bad news first. There's a lot of gripes I have with this vehicle. It's not perfect. If you don't like attention, this is not the vehicle for you. But my number one gripe is the FSD. Full self-drive, for lack of a better term, sucks. I can't tell you how many times full self-drive has almost taken me down a one-way road, or don't even go off-road with, not even off-road, but a road like this current road without any lines in the street. Not the best. So roads like this without any lines in the road, would not ever dream of, using full self-drive on. If you live in a picket fence community with perfect lined roads and nice wide roads, full self-drive might be great for you. But multiple times while I'm in the highway, it's almost missed my exit. That's actually missed my exit, especially in New York, but I don't blame it, because whether you're A or not, driving in New York's a nightmare through the Bronx on the highway. Very, very congested traffic. Sometimes it's cutting people off. It's hugged the line and almost like multiple times, not almost, run me off of the road where I have to take control. So emphasis on the supervision part of the full self-drive, because I barely even use it. Definitely not worth the $8,000. If you do test out full self-drive, make it the monthly subscription, because I do not recommend spending that much money on full self-drive itself. Did not come finished. Maybe in a couple of years, after a couple updates, it's going to be better. But as of right now, worst part about the entire vehicle, it was one of the main buying points that I wanted to get the car in the first place, not just the Tesla truck, but Teslas in general, their full self-drive. What you hear about it, I dreamed of being a kid, thinking of my vehicle driving itself, and it is a little disappointing. Now, when it's perfect weather, great wide open roads, and you're just a little stiff or you need a break from driving with your arms, you can put on full self-drive. It's perfect for that. But it's few and far between when this car actually performs well with full self-drive. Other than that, maybe not recommend full self-drive. So besides full self-drive, and I will touch a little bit more about full self-drive towards the end, a few gripes with the car, especially the front camera is crystal clear. I love the cameras, but the video quality is subpar. You can barely pick up license plates if you ever get into an accident and there's a hit and run. Good luck, honestly. The crystal clear quality is amazing when you're driving, but when it gets recorded, you get left with like this not even 1080p 60 frame per second video, and it's just kind of very unfortunate. I'll show you what I mean by that. But it's a beautiful day, just got out of work and I'm driving, minding my own business, and not thinking much of it. Super nice day. You got this guy here though who just decides to no reason speed up. I'm like, oh, I wonder what he's doing. And then he just randomly cuts me off. I'm like, god damn, that's crazy. And I thought, okay, don't think anything of it, but you can kind of see he's spraying his windshield fluid at my car, and I was like, that's crazy. You could barely see him actually spray it. The camera doesn't pick it up too well, but I was surprised how much it was being sprayed out and hitting my car, and I was like, this guy's crazy. You just gotta watch out for those crazy people, guys, especially if you have a Tesla, sadly. But it is what it is. It doesn't happen too often. That was actually the first person who's ever cut me off and sprayed me with their windshield wiper fluid. And he did it twice. I get around him, and then later on he cuts me off again, and then sprays me again. It's crazy. It's like actually crazy. Besides the camera quality, little things will add up on my opinion of this vehicle. And this is just me nitpicking now, but you got a front wash for the full self-drive portion of it, because the front camera is what really all the full self-driving is based off of, and the side cameras of course. But there's no LiDAR technology. There's no radar or any kind of software that can detect things other than with the camera, and the trigonometry that the cameras use basically lets the full self-driving be even possible. So if there's any kind of fog, heavy rain, heavy snow, any kind of visual obstacle, kiss the full self-drive goodbye. So that's kind of disappointing. And there's a front camera wash, but there's no back camera wash. They just cheaped out. And unfortunately, I would love to add a back camera wash, but Tesla doesn't quite offer that yet. And if you take your vehicle to any other third-party service shop, then potentially they could void the warranty. They could touch some things and do things that the warranty gets voided, basically because they're messing with things that they're not really aware of. So you got to be very careful when you're taking this to get modifications done. If it's not a certified Tesla dealership or a body shop, then you could get your warranty voided. And why do you not want your warranty voided? Because the battery costs $20,000, and if anything happens to your battery and your warranty is voided, that's out of pocket. There's a couple other gripes when it comes to dealing with Tesla shops in general. One, I didn't buy the tire protection plan for my tires. I thought these tires are great. They didn't go with the airless tires like they quite advertised back in 2019. They went with all-weather tires that are really good. These are Scorpion tires, but I love the all-terrain tires that they used. But after about 10,000 miles, this is personally my fault, I didn't get a tire rotation, even though they recommend every 6,000. I was driving to Virginia, New York, Maine, New Hampshire, everywhere. And I didn't have time to get a tire rotation. I mean, I did, but I was a little lazy. So I got a tire rotation after 10,000 miles. And around 12,500, I got my first flat. It doesn't come with a spare tire. Haven't bought one yet. I definitely will be. And it was kind of a nightmare. The time it took was about a week to get a tire because they had to order a new tire. They didn't have any in the shop. Granted, it was a new Tesla dealership that I brought it to in Springfield, Massachusetts. But unfortunately, they didn't have the tire in hand. And I asked them to please put on the tire protection plan. I said it multiple times. And at the end of the day, they billed me for $600, even though their website says the tires are only $500. I'm sure maintenance, whatever, taxes, gotta love it. But after I got the new tire on, they didn't include the tire protection plan, despite me asking for it. And after I called multiple Tesla dealerships and multiple places, they said there was nothing they could do for me because after the invoice has already been 24 hours, they can't add the tire protection plan, which is a terrible time frame. Only 24 hours is kind of ridiculous, especially since I picked the vehicle up on a weekend and they were closed during the weekend. Even though I texted the guy, his personal number, didn't get back to me. So that was kind of a nuisance. Sometimes you got to be very adamant and just before you even pick up the vehicle, make sure you have everything in the invoice and make sure you take a picture of your vehicle before you drop it off. Because I do have a scratch I'll show you that the vehicle did not have before I dropped it off into the service station, and now all of a sudden it has it. Had no idea how this scratch happened. But yeah, just make sure you take a full video or picture right as you drop it off at the Tesla service station. Crossing your T's, dotting your I's goes a long way. Because my experience with Tesla, customer service has been subpar at best. They're nice people, but they are super busy. There's not a lot of locations. They take long to reply. And it can be hit or miss in terms of quality service, to say the least. And so you got to really, really make sure you tell them exactly what you want multiple times sometimes. And so it can be a hassle and a headache. So So yeah, little things like that really kind of put a damper on the overall opinion I have of this vehicle. This was my dream car. I'm a little bit of a biased opinion. I love Tesla. I do own some Tesla stock, so just a kind of disclosure there. But nonetheless, like, I was a Elon Musk fan before he went crazy. I'm not going to go too much into those details, but I do really enjoy this car, despite all these cons. I'll be getting into the pro section in a second here, but there's still a couple more cons, right, to go over. And so yeah, they did cheap out when it comes to the back camera wash, and other modifications that I would like to add, but I'm afraid to add because, you know, you never know if they're going to void the warranty or not, is there is rattling. Once you get about 70, 75 to 80 miles per hour, you'll hear, this is with most Cybertrucks, 2024 and 2025, door rattling. And it's honestly not noticeable if you're like me and you can blast music the entire way, or you listen to a podcast, you won't really hear it full volume. But times I like to drive kind of silent, you're gonna hear that rattling in the door. And I actually met Shock Auto Styling, the person who did my wrap. He found a solution. He added padding in the door. But again, we'll see if that voids the warranty or not. If it doesn't, I'm gonna get that done for my door. It's just one of those little, you know, quality of life aspects. A car that costs this much, $80,000 to $100,000, depending on which model you buy, 120 if you get the Beast. It shouldn't come with that, right? You should hopefully, you know, have a car that doesn't have little rattles that shouldn't really be there. It's those little teeny things that are like first world problems. I get it, nitpicking here, but something you want to be aware of before you buy an expensive vehicle like this. There's other than the full self-drive, other than, you know, maybe voiding the warranty if you add this modification or that modification. Other than that, I can't think of any other cons. This vehicle is a great vehicle. Oh, I guess I got one more. Before the wrap, this is a huge quality of life addition to the vehicle, not just cosmetically, but maintenance. Cleaning this vehicle and maintaining this vehicle used to be a nightmare. Obviously, part of the pro section, maintenance, no oil changes, right? But there are a couple things that you do need to maintain, like the tires. Get that protection plan when you get the tires. But the actual keeping the stainless steel clean was a nightmare. I spent 2 to 3 hours a week cleaning the vehicle. I usually spend Saturday or Sunday cleaning the vehicle. And it took 2 to 3 hours in that one day just to get all the rust spots. And it's not like the stainless steel is actually rusting. It's debris from the environment that you're driving on that actually oxidize the vehicle. So you do have to be careful trying to clean that off. Can be a nightmare. Another thing I forgot to mention when it comes to the tire and just how much of a nuisance it was, I didn't run over anything. I didn't hit a curb or drive over some glass. It was as smooth as the road is now, with like no debris on it at all. And I just saw a warning, tire air low. I swipe over on the dash here and I see that the PSI of the tire is dropping significantly from 50 to 30 to 20. I instantly pull over, not even 10 seconds later, and it had to be flatbed towed. I had to put it in tow mode. The whole nine. Was just a nightmare trying to figure out how to not break my car. And the tow driver never knew how to do it either, so he was freaking out. And I just had to figure out everything for him. I'm like, no, it's in tow mode. You can tow it, I promise. You can, well, pull it up onto the bed. And then on the drive to the place, to the Tesla shop in Springfield, the alarm was constantly going off. I tried to unlock the car door, but it'd always lock again, and then it started going off again. So maybe that was an error on my part of not knowing exactly how to turn the alarm system off. And then they all come to the conclusion that they couldn't find anything with the tire that was wrong. It could have just been a faulty tire. Granted, these tires are supposed to last 6,000 to 40,000 miles. And I was like, why is that range so drastically different? Like, why is it 6 to 40,000? It all comes down to like the condition that you have when you're getting your tire. It could be a faulty tire, or if you just go 0 to 60 in 2.0 seconds, and like how terrible you can be to just like be heavy on the pedal. So it's like, if you go 0 to 60 all the time, of course you're going to wear and tear your tires. Or if you drift and drag race and all this other stuff, you might not even see 6,000 miles. So it all comes down to how good of a driver you are, one, and how well you take care of your tires, two, tire rotations, XYZ. So hopefully I'll get 20,000, 25,000 miles out of these tires before I just end up getting all new tires, and I'll actually like get new rims too, so I can keep a spare tire. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's plenty more cons or things that I really don't like about this car, and some of them, if I knew beforehand, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. I probably would have. This is my dream car still. I do believe with all the bad that I've already gone over, the good does outweigh the bad. Like if you view this camera here, you got that front cam wash. It looks like that, all right? And then perfect front cam wash, works all the time. I haven't even had 12,000 miles on the car, or 15,000 miles on the car, almost. Haven't had to get any new window wiper fluid. There's a lot in there, but there's no back camera wash. And this is the one that needs it the most, especially since it's not the best back camera. You can't really see if that's a cop behind me or not. And even when you can't even increase the view on this main screen, you have to get to the mini screen before you can even increase or change the perspective. There's just, the quality isn't as good as I'd like it to be for a rear camera, which is a driver who doesn't use full self-drive, what they need the most. Especially since this mirror up here is useless. Mine, this, I just had it tucked out of the way here. Absolutely useless if the tonneau cover is not down, and I'll never drive with the tonneau cover down because it makes the efficiency of the distance worse because the vehicle is less aerodynamic. And so another big gripe is just this useless piece of trash up here. I use it to like clean my teeth if I ever need to have a mirror. At least I have this. But that's one modification I'm probably going to fix, is actually adding a rear camera on this to make it a lot better than this rear camera. And so little things like that make a big difference. And I'm just very disappointed that this expensive vehicle does not have a rear camera in the rear view mirror, especially since you can't see out in the back of it. Another thing is the windshield wiper is kind of garbage. If you look at the dots and specks I have on the window there is no cleaning it. I'm full holding it down. You got to hold it down, the button down, to get the water to come out. And in the rain, it's awesome. When it's raining, I get perfect visibility. It has multiple levels. But in terms of cleaning the windshield, this is the worst thing to clean it. You're going to have to hand clean it with a massive brush, because there's no way, I can barely reach with my wingspan, about 6 feet, decent reach. And I still need a step stool or a long tool to help me get the tip parts of this windshield and the glass on top as well. That doesn't get as dirty. But con when it comes to the glass, if there's anything that falls on it, knock on wood, I haven't had my glass crack yet. The shatterproof glass has been holding up to true to its name. But if it does crack, this top piece at least is about $4,000 to get fixed. And so if you don't go through insurance, you're just kind of fucked there. But yeah, little things like that are just like, ugh. Why couldn't we make, the windshield bulletproof, right? Obviously the technology wasn't there at the time, even though I see other cars with roll down windows that are bulletproof. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully a future model will actually come with more than just shatterproof windows. I do like the look of the car. Me personally, I'm a huge fan. But before we get into the pros, there are a couple more cons. The visibility is perfect in perfect conditions. Doesn't ever fog up. I always have some airflow going. It's very easy and quick to defrost if I ever do need to defrost it. I haven't had this vehicle too many winter storms yet. I did drive up in a absolute whiteout blizzard up to New Hampshire for skiing, and the visibility was absolutely horrendous. At the time, I didn't know how to turn down the lighting, like the headlights. You technically can't turn them down, but you can put them in parking mode to make them a little less intense. And the storm just made it absolutely horrendous to see. I could not see. Thank God there was no other cars on the road, because we definitely would have gotten into an accident. There's just the lights are so bright in a snowstorm. Rain's okay, but in a snowstorm, good luck. I really do hope there is an update that you can change the visibility light of the headlights. You can change the intensity of the light, because it is just too bright at some times, where I've had other cars literally flash me because they think my headlights are on. I'm like, no, that's just my car lights are bright. And I've seen many people comment about that feature and don't really like how bright the headlights are, which can be a pro. You'll never, not see things in the dark when you don't have street lights, but when it's tough to see out already, it makes it almost even harder to see in snowstorms. And sometimes, yes, even in the fog and rainstorms, it can get really bad, because the way the light refracts off the water particles in the air really does blind you a little bit more. So that is a big con there. And something I hope they do work on. If for whatever reason Elon's like watching this video and I can get anything out of this, this is such a silly request, but God, please let me get a rear camera wash. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but rear camera wash would be amazing, and maybe change the light visibility. Those are just quality of life things that would make this experience so much better. That, and of course, fix the rattling. I haven't had a recall since I got this vehicle. The last recall actually was the reason why my vehicle got delayed from me getting it. I ordered it in February, mid-February, and I got the vehicle around late March. I was supposed to get it mid-March, but it got delayed because the panels were flying off. That was the last recall, the most recent recall, I should say. And hopefully they will do a recall for the rattling in the door, but chances are it's one of those things that doesn't really affect any safety, so they probably won't. But it is what it is. All right. And in terms of other cons, like the navigation system's just awful. I can't express. I will never, ever, unless I'm going to somewhere like 5 minutes away, Apple Maps all the way, or Google Maps, anything other than this. This is disgustingly disappointing, to say the least. I've done a comparison side by side with the navigation of here and Apple Maps, and Apple Maps will always take me to the quicker route, probably 2 to 3 minutes quicker. And unfortunately, this has actually almost taken me off-roading by accident. We went up to Mount Katahdin to hike Knife's Edge, and it took us to the old state park's entrance, which is a decommissioned road. And then we were going down that road for like 5 miles and almost had a flat tire on that road. Like, it was kind of scary, all because we're following this GPS taking us to the middle of nowhere. Can't tell you how many times I've went to a friend's house 2 hours away, and it's like stopped me before I even got to the, like, I was still like 20 minutes away, and I was like, you've arrived at your destination. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm in the middle of nowhere. So little things like that should be better, especially with Starlink. And like, I don't have Starlink in my vehicle yet, but like, you'd think that they'd have a good navigation system, and they really don't. It's very disappointing. They didn't come out with the airless tires, like I said earlier. I was really looking forward to that. Yeah, I would have made the car price even more expensive, but those are tires that wouldn't pop or can run over glass and spikes and still be okay. And so that was disappointing. There's little other gripes I have, like the aggressiveness in the vents. When I first got the car, I really didn't know how to play with the air filter and like intensity and detensity, that's not a word. The low intensity versus the high intensity ventilation system was a little much for me. I was like, gosh darn, like trying to move it away from my face because it was too aggressive. I literally hated it. And the seats aren't the most comfortable, but they're definitely not uncomfortable. Like, I've definitely sat in like Ford Escapes that have a little more of a cushion than these seats do. But it's still not bad. It's just not like super, super luxury. The vegan leather interior is okay. Like, I do think it's comfortable, but not like noticeably, wow, this is amazing. I've had better, but it's not bad. You got a lot of different adjustments on the side and whatnot. It's just little small things like that. It all adds up, you know, especially with the price point. That's the major con. With all these little, you know, quirks that, you know, some would say make a car great. It's the flaws, the little quirky things like that. The price point kind of gives you a facepalm. When they promised $40K, when they first announced this vehicle back in 2019, before a lot of tariffs, before the taxes, before the inflation, it seemed too good to be true, and it was. And even at $80K, $90K, I don't have a problem with the price point if those quirks and little things weren't there, but they are. And so it does like really weigh on your mind if you're not super wealthy like me and you just like money's not an object. It still is. And you know, that's another thing when it comes to this vehicle. People think like I'm a baller, super rich, super wealthy. Like, it's just not the case. But you know, I can't complain personally, but still the fact is this vehicle is not cheap. When it comes to maintenance, you are saving a lot on oil changes, sure. On gas, it is more affordable, but depends on where you live. I installed a charger in my home for $1,000 and I don't even use it because it's just cheaper to use superchargers because of where I live. Energy prices are so high. I looked at my electricity bill and I'm like, are you serious? I'm almost paying double, more than double of what I would pay at a supercharger. And so it depends on where you live if you do want to get a home charger. Granted, I got a level 2 charger, not even a Tesla charger. But it's just like little things like that are like, damn, I wish that certain things were a little cheaper. I will be linking all the accessories I bought for the interior and give you the interior tour. I didn't buy a single thing off the Tesla website, to my roof racks, to a lot of my hidden compartments and containers I have throughout the car. They give you a pretty bare bone base model truck with plenty of room, but in terms of floor mats and cup holders and a lot of other things I added on, even like a little trash bin in the back, like, because all the accessories on their website were 2, 3, 4 times more expensive than you would get from Amazon. So it's like, I'll definitely be linking all the things I bought, all the accessories I bought in the description below for you guys to check out if anyone is interested in getting a Cybertruck. I do hope that they fix a lot of these gripes I've have within the coming models. Because in, you know, 5-6 years, if they're still making this vehicle, I would love to upgrade. I really would. All the cons I said, the pros still outweigh. And by miles. And one last thing I want to say about the navigation, even on no tolls, it sometimes takes me down toll roads, and like, especially if you're doing long distance and FSD's taking over, I can't tell you how many times, you know, I've gone on a toll road that I didn't want to go down, or like I said, FSD drives me down a 1-lane road, like, and I have to like quickly swerve out of traffic so I don't go down the wrong way. Like, it's just little things like that they need to work on for sure. That FSD is my biggest complaint when it comes to this car in general. Like, by far. I've heard, you know, I've gone off-roading. Off-roading was a fun experience. I haven't quite gone in water yet. I haven't had a flash flood, like a serious flash flood to drive this thing in wade mode. But I am looking forward to that. I have heard that this car sinks like a brick. I've seen videos of a car sinking, and they promised that it would float. But it only floats in wade mode, which takes 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I've seen some videos of people putting it in 5 minutes to actually turn on wave mode. So if you are about to get your jet ski out of the water, or you're, towing in not even towing, just driving in 2 to 3 feet of water, make sure you have wade mode on, because if you don't, your car will sink like a brick. I haven't had that experience yet. This car has excellent handling when it comes to driving in the water. And if my memory solves me correctly, there's literally only other one gripe I have when it comes to the vehicle. I haven't had a single issue on the road in terms of lights popping up other than the flat tire. And around 5,000, 6,000 miles, I've only had this problem twice. When I first got the car, there was front motor failure. It only lasted about 30 minutes, and then it went away. And that happened twice. Once at 5,000 miles and once at 6,000 miles. And after a software update, I never had that issue ever again. With front, I do have the dual motor version. So with one motor still activated, I had a worse quality speed, and it was just a little slower. When I tried to go 0 to 60, it was like 7 seconds, a lot slower than the 4 seconds. But other than that, not a single issue driving. The safety features are decent. They're not amazing. This car will beep at you if you're driving too fast and expects you to crash in the car in front of you, but sometimes a little bit too prematurely, where I'm like, I wasn't going to crash, so stop beeping at me, please. But the worst part about the safety features is the lane departing feature. When you're veering out of the lane, I don't know if they had a software update to take the feature away, or there's something in my settings where I clicked it off, but I used to have the car actually jerk me back into the lane, like it should. But now there's no beeping, there's nothing. I must have clicked something off. There's still a massive learning curve with this vehicle. Maybe somewhere in the service or safety menu. But yeah, that's another thing. It's a big learning curve. I've had this car for pretty much 6 months now. Since mid-March, late March. It's mid-September. And I'm still learning new things. And that's one of my biggest pros about this car. Not the, I do have the dual motor, mind you. Not the, 600 horsepower. Not the 525 feet of torque per pound. I don't care or know what most of that means anyway. I'm not a car guy. But in terms of just handling and how easy this car was to learn to drive, and I've never driven a truck before. I mean, like a friend's truck once or twice, but I'm not a truck guy. I do like bigger cars. I've come from like a Toyota RAV4, and I've had 4 other cars. Were all like sedans and like Ford 500s, Kia Forte, even a Ford Fiesta. Talk about a clown car. Talk about an upgrade, right? I've always had like these small cars, super cheap cars, but this was always my dream car. I just loved the look. I loved the style. I loved the controversy surrounding it. And this can be a pro or a con. If you like attention, it's a pro. If you hate attention, it's a con. You are going to get head turns. I was actually surprised with how much attention I got. Granted, it's only been out for 2 years, but I thought that was enough for people to stop caring. I still will get an average of a middle finger once a week. I will say, before I got the Galaxy Purple wrap, I got even more middle fingers. People really do hate the stainless steel, which is, again, just a nightmare to clean. Absolute nightmare. But it attracted more hate, for sure. Now, when it comes to, positivity versus negativity, I get way more positivity than negativity. I get way more people giving me the peace sign, way more people thumbs up than middle fingers, even when I had the stainless steel. So that was good. Something I enjoyed a lot is just seeing how many people actually, especially the kids and the youth, love this vehicle. They come up, take pictures by it. Unfortunately, people have no respect, and a lot of people will touch the vehicle, and like, unfortunately, you'd think in a world, you know, people would just not touch things that aren't theirs and their property, but it is one of those things you gotta prepare yourself for, of like how many people would just lean on your car, touch your car. Haven't had anyone vandalize it yet, knock on wood. But I won't be surprised the day someone does, you know? I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew what the political environment was, you know? And I didn't get this car for that, all right? I got this car because what it meant for me, and how much I loved the look and the style, and how much I thought it represented who I was. You know, it's definitely a rebellious kind of symbol. You know, I hate the government. I don't like any president. This is not a video I'm trying to make on politics, but just to give you, you know, dive into my mindset. Taxation is theft, government is slavery. Not going to change my mind about that. But I am fortunate enough I get to live in a country that lets me say that. And that's all I'm going to leave it at. So when it comes to, you know, oh, Elon this, Trump this, I don't give a fuck about either one of their political stances. I love all people, and I want the best for everybody. But I got this car because I absolutely love it. Despite all the things I said about it. It drives so smoothly. The steer-by-wire technology is amazing. You feel like you're driving a sport car. The sleek turning, and like, it's so easy to take a 3-point turn. It's so easy to get into tight spots. The camera crystal clear quality is amazing, unless there's like dust or something on the camera. Quick and easy to wipe off though. Like I said, now that I have a wrap cleaning it, 30 minutes, not even. Very simple and easy to clean. The software updates are one of my favorite aspects. When I first got the car, it doesn't have half the features it has now. Now I have, you know, Grok AI built into my car with different voices that you can program. Hey Grok, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, thanks. Just chilling in the digital ether. How about you?
Chilling in the digital ether? That's crazy. What's the ether?
Just kidding around. The ether is my fancy way of saying I'm everywhere and nowhere. Like data floating in the cloud, ready to chat. Not stuck in one spot, you know?
And could you tell me what most people think the ether is?
Most folks picture the ether as this invisible, mystical space, like a cosmic web or digital void where internet stuff lives. Kinda sci-fi, right? Or they mix it up with old school science, thinking it's some unseen medium for light waves. Either way, it's basically just a cool metaphor for the unseen world of data.
Thanks. Hope you have a beautiful day.
You too. Hope yours rocks.
And you could just conversate with it and, like, you know, do whatever. I forgot to ask Grok, hey, if you're still listening, can you tell me what your favorite thing about the Tesla CyberTruck is?
Oh, I'm all ears. Well, digitally. Favorite thing about the Cybertruck? Gotta say those hidden features blow my mind. Like the bottle opener built into the truck bed. Super practical, sneaky fun. What's yours?
My favorite feature would definitely have to be just how cool it looks, honestly. It's silly, but that's my favorite. Can you tell me any more hidden features that I might not know about?
Oh, I love that. Looks alone are half the battle. Alright, hidden gems. The Cybertruck's got a preset frunk opener, so it dings open on its own when you walk up. And check this. There's a secret second trunk under the bed for extra storage. Mind-blowing, right? More? It even has a built-in power tonneau cover that locks like a vault. Turns the bed into a mini safe. Tesla sneaks in those tricks.
And what is the worst feature about the Cybertruck in your opinion?
Tough call. But I'd say the stainless steel body, while badass, dents easier than folks expect, and scratches show up like crazy without denting, unless you really smack it. Makes upkeep a hassle. Not hating, just real talk.
I couldn't agree better myself. The stainless steel is a pain in the butt to clean. I don't know why they call it stainless.
Right? Stainless should come with an asterisk, like stains if you sneeze on it wrong. Total marketing prank. Maybe next update they'll add some self-cleaning nano coating or whatever.
Do you know what the next update's going to be?
Based on chatter online, the next big Cybertruck update, like 2025.26, should drop Grok AI right into your dash, talking and everything. Super soon, fingers crossed, maybe even this week. But Tesla loves surprises, so no promises. Want me to peek for fresh rumors?
Nah, thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Catch you later.
There you have it, folks. Grok AI, pretty solid. I could talk to it forever, past the time, have it tell me jokes. The jokes are pretty awful, but with hope that the updates come out and it just gets better and better and better, is the best feature. Not the looks of the vehicle, but the updates themselves are my favorite feature of this vehicle. Security updates, software updates. Soon we're gonna get an update where you'll actually be able to summon your Cybertruck. Not kind of excited about that. Still nervous with the way that full self-drive has treated me. I don't think summoning is going to be super safe for the people around. But nonetheless, it's going to be cool to see what innovative things are going to happen to this vehicle in general. The truck in and of itself, whether you hate it or you love it, you just got to try it. Because I've had many people who hate it in my circle hop in and they're like, okay, I see the appeal, and they come around because it is a fun car. You got the ambient lighting, you got, at night it really doesn't show up too much during the day, but at night it really does shine. When you do put it in full self-drive, it feels great when it works well. And the way the lights have the rainbow lights in full self-drive, killer cool. I could show you for a split second here, but you got the rainbow lights now, and it's driving itself right now. I think it's just gonna park me, but it only shows up in full self-drive, which is another gripe, because it's like, come on now, why can't you show up in regular drive? The second I exit full self-drive, it stops, and I think it's just because it's too distracting. But I'm like, so I do have to make a correction on some of my cons. The motor failure happened at 1,700 miles, and then the front motor failure, mind you, and then one at 6,000 miles. But after that, haven't had a single issue there. And there was a wiper notification saying a faulty wiper at 5,000 miles, but that wasn't on my car. That was on one of my other friend's cars that I met at the Tesla charging station. He let me know about that. Hasn't happened to me yet, but again, little things like that, software issues, whatever it might be, you never quite know when it comes to a car like this. A lot of issues vary car to car. I haven't had any severe issues, thankfully, but I've heard of terrible issues of motors just outright failing, people having to get new motors, and other quirks and headaches that people have to deal with over time. Like, little gripes really can't beat this car. Yeah, I wish there was a little better visibility in the moonroof from inside the cabin when it comes to watching stars. The lighting, especially the ambient lighting in there, from even the steering wheel, the light that emits from the steering wheel and other things like that will kind of reflect off the glass inside in such a way you can't see past the glare, and so you can't get the best ultimate star viewing from inside the cabin. And I did forget to mention, it is a sealed cabin, so there is no way from the cabin to the back of the truck, which is understandable. They have to keep it pressurized, especially for the speeds that you're going at. But that would have been nice to have some type of way to get from inside the truck to the bed of the truck, especially if you're doing stuff like camping or other things like that. I can't think of any more negatives. It is nothing but up from here to say. Not a lot of disappointments. I was gonna clean my car off and show you the inside when it's super clean, but I'm gonna take you around the vehicle and show you the life of me and what I use this vehicle for. So if you come on over, we're gonna see the frunk. There is a motion here that you can program in for it to open up automatically. I didn't necessarily like that idea because I walk in front of my truck all the time and don't want it to just open up. So I do it with the push activated with the button. You can also do it through your phone. You can do it through the front of the truck here. I just have a bag, all right, some gloves. This is my Dungeons and Dragons bag here, regular work bag. And you can fit a couple more items in here. Very small frunk, whether you hate that or you like that, but it's functional. It does fit quite a few carry-on items if you're going onto the airport, right? And they did make a kind of sensor here. I don't know, don't want to test it. Clearly didn't see my hand there, so you got to be careful. They said that they updated it and made it feel better, to make it better, but still pretty dangerous there. That's kind of why I like it though. Symbol of danger here. Gotta love it. I can't tell you how many times I've nicked myself, stubbed myself onto this truck. You do gotta be careful when it comes to it. But and then to take you to the back seat, I'm sure you all have seen a back seat before. I do have a lot of junk in here, all right? But got my yoga mat. What I wanted to show you here though is the underseat storage. I will be linking in the description. Got my Jedi robe, all right? Very important stuff. And when you got the underseat storage here, it's this lever right here. Took me a while to figure that out. You pull that up, and then you got some storage underneath. All right, got my caution tape. Got hydrogen peroxide, much needed for every Cybertruck. Not really. I will tell you the things I did use to clean the stainless steel. Link in the description. I did it with Bartender's Keeper. There's two kinds I used. One was more abrasive than the other. All will be linked down in the description below. Bartender's Keeper, the more abrasive one, got the little rust spots that I had on the vehicle off well. But when I wanted to clean just the body of the car in general, I'd use the less abrasive one so it didn't leave behind too many scratches. And I also used this stainless steel cleaner that I really did love to get it more polished. But now I also link what I used to clean my wrap with, that Shock Auto Styling. His tag is right here. Shock Auto Styling suggested I use to help keep the wrap in good condition, all right? And shameless shout out to my YouTube channel and my Instagram there as well. So now the tonneau cover can hold up to 300 pounds, pro in my opinion. I come up here all the time, get a good view. I've never jumped on it, but I've seen people who've jumped on it. I like to keep it a little bit better condition than jumping on it. You can sit up here, eat your lunch, have fun, whatever floats your boat. Got my one-piece stickers, and definitely gonna change the license plate here, especially after posting this video. So I don't mind having that there. And in the interior, I am a fitness instructor, more importantly, a specialist when it comes to addiction recovery and mental health fitness specialist. I've also been a personal trainer for more than 10 years, and I got a lot of workout equipment in here. There is a mini trunk under here. I do have my mat to protect it, but you guys have all seen these videos if you're watching this. You know that there's a mini trunk under that trunk that can store a lot of ice, and you can make it into a cooler, or you can just have it as an extra storage trunk. But there's plenty more storage. I just have my stuff all thrown lazily about. I can move this bag over and show you how much more room I have just by moving a couple things around. This truck bed is 6 feet long, 4 feet wide, very spacious. A lot of different containers you can put in here to make it even more efficient and organized. But as you can see, I'm pretty deorganized, and I'm always in and out of this thing. Really great work truck in my opinion. The charging's not too bad. I'm sitting at a charger on average for like 30 minutes tops. I'm always talking to people. People are coming up. time goes by super fast. Let's see if this will pinch my fingers. Psych, not gonna test that. But nonetheless, I love this truck. This truck, despite everything negative I said, and the negative section was pretty long, the positives are just beyond. This truck drives so well. The safety features are really nice. Despite that one guy who crashed into me, it's always the other person. Nonetheless, insurance handled the whole thing. He was an honest man, and I got the car back within 2 weeks. So that was just the bumper. I got lucky. That's one thing that you do have to consider if this is your only vehicle. If you ever do get in an accident and you don't have a rental car in your insurance, then you could be seeing 2-4 weeks, depending on what steel parts might have gotten hit. Could be months that you don't get it back. If there's tariffs or whatever, you gotta also look at those factors as well before buying a truck like this. But man, is it fun. This car is so much fun. 0 to 60, 4 seconds, like a kid on Christmas. That's a big reason. It is a lot of fun. I do love taking my kayak out. These kayak racks are amazing. Definitely gonna be getting paddle boards soon too. And I can't tell you how much I love this thing. This thing has brought me so much joy. Despite all the middle fingers, I just can't help but laugh and smile at them. Because it's like, if only they knew how much fun it was. It really does bring me a lot of joy. And it brings a lot of people joy. I see a lot of kids jumping up and down, pointing it, giving me the thumbs up, right? I can't express enough how much I absolutely love it, despite all those negatives, despite all the things. If this car is your dream car, pull the trigger on it. If you know you'll love it and you look at it and you can't help but smile, this car is for you. It handles really well in almost all weather, despite the visibility issues. The driving itself is great. I wish I took more videos and recorded more videos of the actual driving of it, but I'm sure there's plenty of other videos out there for you for that. And not to make this, review 20 million years long, I'll be doing a 30,000, maybe a 50,000 review as well. This was just my 15,000 mile review, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like, commenting down below any tips or suggestions you have for future review videos, and consider subscribing too. And with that, guys, I hope you take care. Peace.
last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? Yeah. And there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? I might lose my mind, waking when the sun's down, riding all these highs, waiting for the calm down. Walk these streets with me, I'm doing decently, just glad that I can breathe, yeah. I'm trying to realize it's alright to not be fine on your own. Now I'm shaking, drinking all this coffee. These last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? Yeah. And there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? Ain't got much to do, too old for my hometown. Went to bed at noon, couldn't put my phone down. Scrolling patiently, it's all the same to me, just faces on a screen, yeah. I'm trying to realize it's alright to not be fine on your own. Now I'm shaking, drinking all this coffee. These last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? Yeah. And there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? And there's one thing that I need